What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Behind the Booth. Today we have a very special guest from Antigua in the building. He goes by the name of
DJ Quest.
I'm here. Building, baby. And if you guys haven't seen up here, we just did a mix-up of what was some hip hop, some Afro beats, I'm a piano,
Jersey
Club,
Dembo,
Dancehall.
What didn't we do?
I know, we were just like, let's just skate all over international. So if you guys haven't seen that, make sure you check it out. So my brother Quest, thank you so much for popping on.
Yo, thank you for having me.
This
is supposed to happen a long term.
Yeah, a long time.
This was having a long term.
So basically, how we met at Scam Summit, and that was last year.
2023.
Yeah, so we met there. And from there, we've just been trying to figure out how we can lock in because, the distance. And then finally, he was back in the city, so we're here.
Yep.
So, Quest, walk us through, how did you get started in DJing?
I feel like I started like any 90s kid around my age. Anybody who's born in the late 90s. Virtual DJ was where I started.
Okay.
Kicking it off with virtual DJ from like 11. And then I started getting more serious with it, spent time with virtual DJ over and over, and thinking about 2-3 years, when I was about 13 or 14, I harassed my mom to buy me a PC equipment. I harassed my mom to buy me an NS7.
Wow.
But my mom didn't want to buy it because the kind of kid I was, like, I would be excited for something for 2 weeks, and then the next 2 weeks I was done. Now, she didn't want to take up $1,000 US, and to convert that money, US to ECD, which is Caribbean money, is like almost times 3.
Wow.
So 1,000 US times almost 3, she basically had to spend like $3,000. Plus then, we had to pay for like customs shipping and all sorts. So like, it was a lot of money for her to take up and be like, but I harassed her for months. And then she finally bought it and never turned back again. I literally never turned back. I remember buying that NS7 and it used to sit on my dining room table where we would have to eat because I didn't really have a space set up. I didn't know. So I sat down on the dining room and I would be practicing there for, I kid you not, I'm not even over exaggerating. She would go to bed at 8 in the night and wake up at 6 in the morning still meeting me in that spot. I swear to God.
Wow.
I would hear my mom come out and going into the bathroom to get ready for work while I am still there at 5:30, 6 a.m. Have not moved, maybe just for a little pee break or something. Wow. Just practicing this. Wow. And this is between the ages of 13, 14, 15, somewhere there.
Wow. And
then after that, I mean, I around that time too, Instagram started to step in. So you can imagine what this is like, 2010?
Yeah.
Somewhere around that age there. And then Instagram started giving you the option of 10-second videos.
I remember Vine was first.
Right, but I wasn't on that Vine wave. I knew about it, but I just wasn't on that wave.
And then Instagram was just photos, and then
and they gave you 10-second videos, and I decided, and I was practicing turntablism at that age with the NS7, because I used to follow people like DJ Vajra. At the time, his name was Vajra, but it's Chris Carnes, Scratch Bastard, and I'm like, yo, these men are insane. How do you do that? How do you make that sound? So I did all of that, and I started practicing too. So I was like, all right, I want to show off what I do too. So I take my little 10-second videos of me doing maybe like small little chirps or drops or blah, blah, blah. Nothing too complex at the time. And posting it on Instagram, and then eventually I got like my first gig. And that paid me $100.
Wow.
He was like, yeah, come and play some music.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right. And ever since then, it's just been a snowball effect downhill.
Wow, that's an awesome story. So you started when you were, you said it was
11%, and I saw somebody using the program, I'm like, yo, this is dope. And then just the love for it just continued to grow. And like, and YouTube started becoming a thing at that time too. This is so dope, blah, blah. And then I found Chris Carnes, how I found Scratch Bastard, how I found DJ Angelo, how I found like all the elites that you can think about, and DMC and learning about DMC and blah 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 blah. That whole time I'm learning about like all these cool guys and what they're doing and competitions and
That's so dope. Now, being in Antigua, how has that influenced your style of playing? Even when you started as 11, were you mostly playing Caribbean music at that time? And how has your did your style evolve? You know, or were you playing multiple genres during that time?
I was listening to mostly dancehall at that time. I was messing around with songs that I would listen to.
Okay.
And then when I started like exploring the levels of what DJing is, I started trying to become a lot more versatile, a lot more open to playing different genres. And then eventually you'd have to learn when and where each of those genres fit.
Yes.
And the type of crowds that you're playing for, and so on and so on and so on. But yeah, I literally started playing dancehall, and after that, everything else just fit into place. I had to figure out everything as you go along. I was listening to another major influence for me was this guy from Trinidad, very huge DJ, DJ Private Ryan.
Okay.
His mixes were taking over the Caribbean diaspora.
Really?
Between 2009 and 2000, I would say just about 2015. When I tell you his mixes were taking over the Caribbean. Bro, you would walk into a fine establishment and his mixes playing, bro. No, it's crazy. His mixes were taking over, and then he would also do a lot. He classes himself as the most versatile DJ in the world. So he would do his dancehall mixes, he would do his soca mixes, but then he would also do some mix series called like Summer Bunny. Or another one that he did was Body Heat. Those would feature like EDM tracks and so on.
Nice.
And like there's like an hour and a half of just EDM tracks.
Wow.
Or an hour and a half of just pop and hip hop songs, and so I'm like, oh shit, like, this is some cool songs. Like I should learn how to play these. You know what I mean? So all of those are small little influences that I got from a Caribbean DJ. Again, this is me now broadening my horizon from what I saw on YouTube to learning that there are people out in the Caribbean that are dope too. You know, so
man, that's lit. And from going from playing, your gigs in Antigua, how did you start to branch out to play other islands?
I think I have to thank social media and the internet for that. Again, just posting videos from gigs or whatever the case is, and then also rubbing shoulders with DJs that would come to Antigua, and then they would kind of tell people like, who's another good guy, and then they would suggest that I should be brought for this event or whatever the case is. And then sometimes just going to festivals in different countries and just networking. I think a lot of the success from my career has been big on networking. The first time I went to Trinidad was 2017. 2017, I was like, 19? Didn't have any gigs, wasn't booked for nothing. Just had a DJ friend that used to come to Antigua. He came to Antigua like almost 2 times a year. For 2-3 years back, and I'd always make sure he's good. That's just me being a hospitable person. And he decided, if you want to come to Trinidad for Carnival, you can stay at my house. I'm like, all right, cool, bet. So, went, no gigs, just was excited to be there, and it was just such an eye-opener for me, and I just started going up to people, introducing myself. Hey, I'm DJ Quest from Antigua, so and so on, can I have a picture with you, XYZ, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward years now, actually, a promoter from Toronto. I'm wondering if he even remember us taking that picture. I wonder if Dr. J remember taking that picture with me, boy. I was in Marshall's concert in 2017. I'm like, is that Dr. J? The Dr. J? Like, he runs the Caribbean circuit in Toronto. And go introduce myself and can I take a picture? And if you see that, I hope I can find that picture. I'm smiling from ear to ear, bro. I'm just so excited to meet this guy, right? But yeah, it's just going out and putting yourself out there and just networking, just never know who you could meet and how those relationships can develop, excuse me, over a period of time. But that was just, I feel like that's how that happened, between me going out and trying to meet people and people seeing what my social media grew into.
That's beautiful. What everyone wants to know, Red Bull, how did you get there? Because we saw how things changed afterward, even though we ran into a pandemic.
Yeah.
But just even having that title of a finalist,
You know what? Anyway, so I knew of the competition, and I think majority of Caribbean, I wouldn't say that, but I knew of the competition, and I just didn't know Caribbean persons were eligible. And then this crazy psychotic friend of mine, you might know him as DJ Puffy, he decides that he's going to enter. I'm like, bro, what do you mean you're going to enter? How does that work? But anyway, he enters, gets in, wins, and then the whole Caribbean, all the Caribbean DJs are like, yo, there's a space for us in that? I'm like, alright, cool. I'll enter. That happened in 2016. I'll enter, and I'll enter in 2020. Let me show you how life is so funny. I was supposed to enter in 2020. 2020. Pause. Whatever happened, another DJ from Barbados, Just J, also another big brother of mine, he entered in 2017, I think the following year after Puffy would have won. Made it to the finals. I think I made it to the semifinals. Got in as a wild card. Did amazing stuff. I said, you know what? I'm gonna enter in 2020. But for whatever, I kid you not, bro. I woke up one afternoon. I have no other explanation for you. I do not have no fancy story behind of it. I got up one morning. I was like, I'm gonna enter today. The competition, they sent out when there was accepting submissions. I was just like, I'm gonna enter. I literally don't have any fancy story or anything. Nothing. Nobody said you should not. Nobody forced me. I just got up and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna enter. Alright, cool. Did the video. Had my boys shoot it. Big ups to Chasso Media. And when we got in, when after we submitted it, I was like, yeah, cool. September 16th of 2019. I was sick like a dog. September 16th is my birthday.
I was just about to say that.
September 16th is in fact my birthday. September 16th, I got a notification on Instagram while being home sick with the flu. I'm telling you, sick. I was like, what's this? Yo. There's a notification from Red Bull with my name as a finalist for the Caribbean finals.
Wow.
Red Bull 3Style. Wow. I'm like, what is going on right now? So that's how we got in. In terms of the journey, I don't think I've gotten to tell this. Actually, maybe I have, but so the journey to Red Bull was actually crazy. So the day I was supposed to leave, the flight that I was supposed to get on initially just cancelled in with no warning. It's cancelled, blah blah blah, whatever. So they're like, alright, cool, let's try and reroute this. I ended up going from Antigua to Trinidad to Barbados, back to Trinidad, I think. And then, actually, two stories too. So when I went from Antigua to Trinidad, I spent the night in Trinidad. Woke up the next morning, and I was supposed to have a flight to Barbados. I think I did get the flight to Barbados, and when I got the flight to Barbados, before I left to Barbados, I called Puffy and I was like, yo, XYZ is going on, blah 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 blah. He's like, I'm going to Barbados, blah 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 blah. He's like, yo, don't worry about it. I'll have my dad pick you up, and you can stay at my house. Granted, we were cool then, but we're not as cool as we are now. And just for that small little help that he was just like, he was not in Barbados, by the way. I think he was in Miami at the time. I can't remember what was going on, but he was not in Barbados. Wow. So for you to have your dad pick me up, take me to your house so I can at least practice on your shit in your studio, is like, bro, that was such a touching moment for me because you didn't have to do that shit. And not much persons would allow that. Again, we were cool, don't get me wrong, we were cool, but like I would fight for that guy now. But that's a different story altogether.
Yeah.
But it was just such a touching moment because I was running on no sleep, barely any sleep. Again, having to overnight in Trinidad, whatever the case is. And having no practice, nothing. So again, I'm in Barbados now trying to do practice the routine on the decks, right? Anyways, eventually his dad dropped me back to the airport. I forgot my vinyl at Puffy's house. So his dad now has to go back for the vinyl and bring them back. Bro, that story about going to Red Bull was so insane. He brings the vinyl back for me. And I have to go back to Trinidad now, and then from Trinidad, then I go to Panama. Alright, cool. Get to Panama, finally, hours before the competition. And I'm in the line for immigration, and they're like, well, you need to hurry up and come onto the line because you're going first. I'm like, what do you mean I'm going first? What do you mean I'm going first? I started panicking. I remember feeling the butterflies in my stomach. I'm like, what is going on? But I kind of controlled the butterflies because I kind of reminded myself, like, bro, you're scaring yourself for no reason because you literally spent the last 3 months practicing this one routine over and over and over and over and over again. So like, you're doing too much. Calm down. So that I guess that's how I kind of calmed my nerves about it. But at the same time, I'm like, right, like there are 5 other people there. Why they can't go first? I'm still in the line for immigration. Anyway, got there and I just did what I had to do.
Wow.
Just Jay from Barbados, which he had entered the previous time. He actually won the Caribbean finals. Big up to Just Jay.
Right.
Definitely shared a lot of information to me as it pertains to the competition and like things that he learned from the first time, which he didn't have to.
Wow.
But he was definitely very informative on things that I should be aware of, things I should and shouldn't do, whatever the case is. And he came out on top for obvious reasons. Yeah. Again, he was there. He figured it out. Yeah. So, but it was definitely a good experience. It's definitely something I want to do again.
Man, talk about a journey.
Yo, bro.
Talk about a journey.
I was stressed.
Talk about a journey.
I was stressed, bro.
Man, and I know you mentioned Puffy from earlier. How is it your relationship with Puffy? You know, because we've seen him. Traveling DJ, all this stuff, like definitely he's like, wow, an inspiration. And you see like he's not only just a figurehead or anything, but he can actually cut. Like he's like all around. So
right.
Like, how is that relationship with Puffy, you know, and just even from then to now?
Again, bro, he's just a cool guy all around. There's nothing bad that can be said. Actually, after that whole Red Bull situation, and I told my mom what happened, my mom basically considers him her son as well. Like, my mom is like, if you look out for me, you're that woman's best friend, bro. So, and again, he's always in Antigua, so they've met. I think there was a time I was somewhere else, and he was in Antigua for a gig, and my mom made sure that he was good, right, too.
That's good.
But, I mean, he's just grown into a complete little monster now. I mean,
yeah.
You see the things that he's doing. He's all around. The thing is, too, I think he's just managed to show or get over a barrier that a lot of Caribbean DJs face. Because I promise you, bro, there are a lot of them that are really good, but to get that type of recognition takes the extra work. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, but I promise you, they're versatile. They can cut. They're experienced. They know the music, but they're in the Caribbean pocket. But I'm pretty sure if you take them out of that and try to put them in another realm, as long as they don't get nervous and overthink it, they will do pretty well.
Sometimes it's just about the opportunity.
Yeah.
Opportunity, and you know how you said just how it took you so long just to get back from those countries. So sometimes it could just be opportunity if there is an opportunity for a flight, like you're saying, like even for you to come to the States for some places, you have to do a whole mission just to come. So, you know, but you know, as you guys continue to put on for the country, you know, then there might be even more flights, and then you know, because then be like, oh, that's more of a destination spot, then that might be easier. So you know, continue to grind.
Yeah, that's the plan.
What would you say is next for DJ Quest? I know you got a couple things in the stash, you know what I'm saying? You
can look out for some production things, but you can also look out for more of a presence on YouTube. I'm actually planning on figuring out some things as it pertains to more mixes on YouTube from me. Again, it's DJ Quest 268 across everything. More gigs. I probably might be in a city near you. Just look out for that.
I like that.
But yeah, it's between production. It really is just production actually, because the production is what I plan to showcase on YouTube as well. I'm actually trying to think of a way to play more of my things.
I like that.
You know,
I like that. And then, you know, especially if it's your own platform, you can control what you want to put out, and that's how people can see you. You never know who's gonna see you. Someone in Europe could see you, like, yo, let's fly this guy out here. You know what I'm saying? And then, lastly, where can the people find you? I think you said it earlier.
DJ Quest 268 on everything. I kid you not. My website even is www.djquest268.com. That's the website. Instagram, DJ Quest 268. You can find me on Apple Podcasts as well, DJ Quest 268. You can find me on SoundCloud, DJ Quest 268. DJ QUEST 268. We good.
I like that. Well, there you heard it. You heard it first. Right here behind the booth, the turntablist, DJ Quest.
Yes, sir.
You already know what it is. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate that. Check out his page. Give him a follow. And yo, if you guys haven't heard, check the mix right here. And yo, we out, my brother. Thank you so much. Until you go in the building.
Good.
Easy. Jamaica was popping. We outside.